In the morning, my son texted, "Plans changed. Don't come up to the ski lodge. My wife wants an intimate Christmas with her parents." The next day, I canceled the cards, sold the property to an investor. Before we continue, comment where you're watching from, and subscribe to the channel. We'd love to see how far our stories are reaching, and flew to the Caribbean. When they arrived at the mountain in the blizzard, the key didn't work, and I was 3,000 miles away watching the sunset. I was sitting in my kitchen in Reno when the text came in. Tuesday morning, December 17th, 7 days before Christmas Eve. I'd been packing, 2 suitcases full of winter clothes, sweaters, boots, scarves, gifts wrapped in red and gold paper. I'd bought new ornaments for the tree at the lodge, glass snowflakes, the kind that catch the light. My phone buzzed on the counter. Plans changed. Don't come up to the ski lodge. My wife wants an intimate Christmas with her parents. Sorry for the late notice. We'll catch up in the new year. I read it 3 times. No, Mom. No, I'm sorry. No, I know you were looking forward to this. Just plans changed. I set the phone down, looked at the suitcases, at the wrapped presents, at the box of ornaments. 8 years of canceled plans, last-minute changes. Something came up at work. Jessica's not feeling well. The kids have a thing. Every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, every birthday. 8 years of promises that dissolved like sugar in water. I walked to the living room, opened the closet, pulled out a cardboard box labeled Lodge, Xmas 2024. Inside was a small artificial tree, pre-lit, 3 feet tall. I'd bought it specifically for the grandkids. Emma was 7, Liam was 5. I barely knew them. I'd seen Emma twice, once when she was born, once when she was 3, and Ryan brought them through Reno on the way to Disneyland. They stayed for 4 hours. Liam I'd met once, at the hospital when Jessica gave birth. Ryan let me hold him for 10 minutes before Jessica said she needed to rest. That was 5 years ago. Since then, photos. Occasional FaceTime calls where the kids looked confused about who I was. Jessica always hovering in the background. Ryan always distracted. And every year the same promise. We'll spend Christmas at the lodge, like old times. My second husband, Tom, bought the lodge in 2015. Lake Tahoe, California side, 3 bedrooms, a stone fireplace, windows overlooking the mountain. It was our dream. We were going to retire there, host family holidays, make memories. Tom died in 2020. Heart attack, sudden. I was 62, he was 68. He left me the lodge, his life insurance, his pension, and a note that said, "Make sure Ryan brings the grandkids. Don't let him make excuses." Every year since Tom died, I'd invited Ryan and his family, offered to pay for flights, offered to cook, offered to do all the work. Every year, excuses. Until this year. 3 months ago, Ryan said yes, confirmed, booked the dates. December 23rd through December 26th. I'd been planning for weeks. I bought a high chair for Liam even though he was probably too old for it now. I bought board games, coloring books. I researched kid-friendly hikes. I stocked the kitchen with food I thought they'd like. I'd addressed Christmas cards to Ryan, Jessica, Emma, and Liam. I'd written, "Can't wait to see you. Love, Grandma Carol." I hadn't sent them yet. I was going to give them in person. I looked at the cards on my dining room table. 4 red envelopes, unsealed. I picked up my phone, called Ryan. It rang 6 times. Voicemail. "Hey, it's Ryan. Leave a message." I hung up. Texted instead. "Can we talk? I'd really like to see the kids for Christmas." 3 dots appeared. Typing. Then stopped. Then, Jessica already made plans with her parents. It's too late to change. Sorry. I stared at the screen. Jessica's parents lived in Sacramento, 90 miles from the lodge. They could do both, unless they didn't want to. Unless intimate Christmas meant without you. I set the phone down, walked to the window, looked out at the December cold, Reno in winter, gray and brown, the mountains in the distance covered in snow. I thought about Tom, about the dreams we'd had, about the last thing he said to me in the hospital before the machines stopped beeping. "Don't let Ryan walk all over you. You're stronger than you think." I'd nodded, squeezed his hand, promised. But I'd let Ryan walk all over me for 8 years. Canceled plans, broken promises, superficial phone calls where he asked about my health but never listened to the answers. I'd told myself it was normal. Adult children get busy. They have their own lives, their own families. But this wasn't normal. Deliberate, repeated, casual. I picked up my phone again, opened my contacts, scrolled to a name I hadn't called in months. Frank Morrison, real estate agent. He'd sold Tom and me the lodge in 2015. He still sent me holiday cards. He answered on the second ring. "Carol, Merry Early Christmas. How are you?" "Frank, I need to sell the lodge. Fast. Can you do it? The Tahoe property? Are you serious?" "Completely. I need it sold by tomorrow." "Is that possible?" "Tomorrow?" "Carol, it's December 17th. The market's slow. Most buyers are, I don't care about top dollar. I just need it gone. Cash sale. No contingencies. Can you find someone?" Frank was quiet for a moment. "I might have someone. An investor I work with. He buys vacation properties, flips them or rents them out. He won't pay full value, maybe 70 to 75%. The lodge is worth about $3.3 million in this market. He'd probably offer 2.5, maybe 2.8 if we're lucky." I did the math. 2.5 million. After taxes and fees, I'd walk away with maybe 2 million. Tom and I had paid 1.9 in 2015. "Do it," I said. "Call him now. Tell him I want it done by end of day tomorrow." "Carol, are you sure? This is a big decision. You should think about, I've thought about it for 8 years. Call him." Then I walked to my office, opened my laptop, logged into my bank account. I had 3 credit cards. 1 in my name. 2 joint cards with Ryan that I'd added him to years ago when he was in college. For emergencies. He was still on them. I'd never removed him. I checked the statements. The joint cards had balances. $4,200 on one, $8,900 on the other. Charges from the last 6 months. Restaurants, hotels, plane tickets to Maui, a jewelry store in San Francisco. Ryan's income was good. He was a VP of operations at a tech company. He made close to $200,000 a year. He didn't need my credit cards, but he'd been using them. And I'd been paying the bills without looking closely. I canceled both cards, called the companies, explained that they were being used without my permission, requested chargebacks for the last 90 days. Then I logged into my investment accounts, changed the beneficiaries. Ryan had been listed as primary. I changed it to the Tahoe Wildlife Foundation, a charity Tom and I used to donate to. Then I opened my will. Digital copy. Tom's lawyer had drafted it in 2021. Everything went to Ryan. The house in Reno, the investments, the pension survivor benefits. I scrolled to the bottom, found the clause about amendments. I drafted a new codicil, left Ryan $10,000. Everything else split between 3 charities. I'd have a lawyer finalize it later, but for now, it was documented. Then I booked a flight. Reno to Miami, Miami to Bridgetown, Barbados. Departing December 18th at 6 a.m. I'd figure out the return later. Or maybe I wouldn't. At 4:47 p.m., Frank called back. "Carol, I have an offer. 2.8 million. Cash. Close in 48 hours. The investor wants to move fast. He's buying it sight unseen based on the appraisal from 2023. Does he need me to be there? Everything can be done remotely. I'll send the docs to DocuSign tonight. You sign. Wire transfer happens Thursday morning." "Carol, I have to ask, are you okay? This is really sudden." "I'm fine, Frank. Better than I've been in years." That night, I packed different suitcases. Summer clothes, sandals, swimsuits, sunscreen. I left the winter clothes in a pile on the floor. I left the Christmas presents on the dining room table. I took the ornaments out of the box, the glass snowflakes. I held one up to the light. It was beautiful. I put it back in the box, taped it shut, wrote on the side, "Donate." At 11 p.m., I got the DocuSign email from Frank. I read through the documents, sale agreement, disclosure forms, transfer of title. I signed everything. At 11:43 p.m., I got a text from Ryan. "Hey, Mom. Hope you're not too disappointed about Christmas. We'll make it up to you. Maybe Easter?" Instead, I turned off my phone, set it on the kitchen counter, went to bed. At 4:30 a.m., I woke up, showered, got dressed, called an Uber. The driver arrived at 5:15, loaded my suitcases, drove me to the airport. At 6 a.m., I boarded the plane. At 7:30 a.m., we took off. I watched Reno disappear below me. The gray city, the brown desert, the mountains in the distance. At 10 a.m., while I was somewhere over Texas, Frank texted, "Wire transfer complete. Funds in your account. Congratulations on the sale." At 2 p.m., while I was in Miami waiting for my connecting flight, Ryan called. He called again, then a text. "Mom, call me. It's important." I turned off my phone. At 7 p.m., I landed in Barbados. The air was warm, humid. The sky was orange and pink. Sunset. I checked into a small hotel near the beach. The room had a balcony. I opened the doors, let the breeze in. I stood on the balcony, watched the sun sink into the ocean. My phone was still off. I didn't turn it on. Somewhere in the mountains of Lake Tahoe, Ryan and Jessica and the kids were arriving at the lodge. They were pulling up in the driveway, unpacking the car, excited for Christmas in the mountains. Ryan was walking to the door, pulling out the key. The same key I'd given him in 2021 when I told him the lodge was his someday. He was putting the key in the lock, but it wouldn't turn, because I'd called the investor that morning, asked him to change the locks immediately. Before Ryan arrived, he'd done it, sent me a photo of the new locks, texted, "All set, old keys won't work." Ryan was probably standing on the porch right now, in the cold, in the dark, trying the key again and again, realizing something was wrong. Maybe Jessica was panicking. Maybe the kids were crying, tired and cold and confused. Maybe Ryan was yelling, frustrated, angry. Or maybe he was just standing there, staring at the door, understanding, for the first time in 8 years, that actions have consequences. I stood on the balcony in Barbados, felt the warm air on my skin, watched the last light fade from the sky. For the first time in 8 years, I felt free. I turned my phone back on 3 days later. Christmas Eve morning. I was sitting on the beach in Barbados. White sand, turquoise water. A book I wasn't reading in my lap. The phone buzzed for 2 straight minutes. Notifications flooding in. 63 missed calls, all from Ryan. 42 text messages. I started with the texts. Read them in order. December 18th, 9:47 p.m. "Mom, where are you? The key doesn't work. Call me." December 18th, 10:15 p.m. "Mom, this isn't funny. The kids are freezing. Call me now." December 18th, 11:03 p.m. "I talked to Frank Morrison. He said you sold the lodge? What the hell is going on?" December 19th, 12:34 a.m. "We had to get a hotel. Do you know what hotels cost here during Christmas? This is insane." December 19th, 8:12 a.m. "Mom, I need you to call me. We need to talk about this. You can't just sell the lodge without telling me." December 19th, 2:45 p.m. "Jessica is furious. The kids are devastated. You ruined Christmas. I hope you're happy." December 20th, 10:23 a.m. "I talked to a lawyer. You might have committed fraud. The lodge was supposed to be mine. You promised." December 21st, 5:17 p.m. "Fine. Don't answer. But this isn't over. You owe me an explanation." December 22nd, 9:04 a.m. "Jessica's parents won't even look at me. They think I lied about having a lodge. You made me look like an idiot." December 23rd, 7:38 p.m. "The kids asked why Grandma hates them. What am I supposed to say?" And the last one, this morning, December 24th, 6:15 a.m. "Merry Christmas, Mom. I hope wherever you are, it's worth losing your family over." I set the phone down, looked at the ocean. I opened the voicemails, listened to the first one, Ryan's voice, tight, controlled, angry. "Mom, it's Ryan. I'm standing outside the lodge. The key doesn't work. The investor Frank mentioned, he's here. He says he owns it now. He says you sold it yesterday. I don't understand. Call me back, please." Second voicemail. Jessica's voice, shrill, hysterical. "Carol, it's Jessica. Ryan's a mess. The kids are crying. We drove 7 hours in a blizzard for this. You couldn't even tell us you sold it? What kind of person does that? Call me back and explain yourself." Third voicemail. Ryan again. Calmer now. Calculated. Mom, I get it. You're upset about Christmas. I should have handled it better. But selling the lodge? That's extreme. Let's talk. I'm sure we can work something out with the investor. Maybe buy it back. I have some money saved. Call me. Ryan made $200,000 a year. Jessica made close to $90,000 as a pharmaceutical sales rep. They lived in a 5-bedroom house in Sacramento, drove 2 new cars, took vacations to Maui and Cabo, and they'd been using my credit cards. I skipped ahead. Voicemail number 8. Ryan's voice. Different now. Desperate. Mom, please. I'm sorry. I know I've been a shitty son. I know I canceled on you. A lot. But you can't just disappear. What if something happened to you? What if you're hurt? I'm worried. Just call me. Let me know you're okay. Then I opened my email. Scrolled through. One from Frank Morrison. Subject, sale complete. Congratulations. He'd attached the closing documents. Final sale price, $2,800,000. My net after fees and taxes, $2,140,000. Wired to my account on December 18th at 9:47 a.m., the exact minute Ryan was pulling into the driveway of the lodge. There was another email, from an address I didn't recognize. Subject, legal notice, breach of promise. It was from a law firm in Sacramento. Bachman and Associates. We represent Ryan Winters in a matter concerning the property located at 4782 Lakeview Drive, South Lake Tahoe, CA. Our client contends that you made verbal and written promises to transfer ownership of said property to him upon your death or retirement. By selling the property without his knowledge or consent, you have breached this promise and caused significant financial and emotional harm. We are prepared to pursue legal action for damages in the amount of $500,000 unless this matter is resolved within 10 business days. Please contact our office to discuss settlement options. Sincerely, Martin Bachman, Esquire. Then I forwarded it to my own lawyer, Donna Chen. She'd handled Tom's estate in 2020. I trusted her. I wrote, Donna, I need help. Ryan's threatening to sue. Can we talk? Then I opened my photo album, scrolled back. Years of photos. Most of them were landscapes, sunsets, the lake, the mountains. A few were of Tom, smiling, healthy, before the heart attack. I scrolled further, found photos from 2016. Emma as a baby, Ryan holding her, Jessica standing next to him, both of them smiling. I was in one photo, holding Emma. Tom had taken it. I remembered the moment. Emma had just woken up from a nap. She was fussy. I was trying to soothe her. Ryan had said, "She doesn't really know you yet. Give her to Jess." He'd taken her back after 30 seconds. I scrolled more, found a photo from 2019, Liam's birth. I was holding him in the hospital. Jessica was in the bed behind me, looking at her phone. Ryan had said, "We should probably let Mom rest now." I'd handed Liam back after 10 minutes. I kept scrolling, looking for more photos of the grandkids. A FaceTime screenshot from 2021, Emma making a silly face, Liam in the background playing with trucks. A photo Ryan had texted me in 2022, both kids at Disneyland, wearing Mickey ears, smiling. I wasn't in any of them, systematically, slowly, over 8 years. Not with cruelty, not with anger. I closed the photo album, opened my text messages, started typing. Ryan, I got your messages. I'm fine. I'm in Barbados. I sold the lodge because I wanted to. You don't get to dictate what I do with my property. The legal threat is noted. My lawyer will respond. Enjoy Christmas with Jessica's parents. 3 dots appeared immediately. Typing. Then, you're in Barbados? Are you serious? So you sold the lodge and just left the country? Without telling anyone? I don't owe you an explanation. You owe me more than that, Mom. That lodge was supposed to be mine. Dad left it to you for me. Tom, who'd written in his will, make sure Ryan brings the grandkids. Don't let him make excuses. Tom, who'd said on his deathbed, don't let Ryan walk all over you. I typed, Tom left it to me, not you. I sold it. It's done. I had every right. It was my property. You promised me. You said when you died, I'd get it. I stared at that message. I had said that. In 2021, after Tom died, Ryan had asked what would happen to the lodge. I'd said, it'll be yours someday. when I'm gone. Not now. Not when I was 62 and healthy and alive. But Ryan had heard it as a guarantee. He'd planned his life around it. I typed. I said someday, not today. Things changed. You canceled Christmas, again, for the 8th time. So you sold a $3 million property because I canceled one Christmas? 8 Christmases, 8 Thanksgivings, 12 birthdays, every family event for 8 years. You chose Jessica's family over me. Every single time. The typing dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Then, that's not fair. Jessica's parents live close. It's easier. Then it should have been easy to visit me too. 90 miles. You drove further for Disneyland. We have kids, Mom. It's complicated. I know you have kids. I've met them twice. Emma, twice. Once at birth, once at 3 years old. Liam, once, at the hospital. 5 years ago. You used my credit cards without asking. $13,000 in charges. Maui, restaurants, jewelry for Jessica. You make $200,000 a year, Ryan. Why did you need my credit cards? You promised to visit every year. You canceled every year. You made me feel like I was a burden. Like spending 4 hours with me was too much to ask. I put the phone down, walked to the water, let the waves wash over my feet. Ryan, you're right. I should have visited more. I'm sorry, but selling the lodge was too far. We can fix this. Let me buy it back from the investor. We can work out payments. He didn't have $2.8 million. Even with his salary, he'd need a massive loan. And mortgages for vacation properties required 20 to 30% down. He'd need $560,000 just for the down payment. Mom, please, I'll do better. I'll visit more. I'll bring the kids. Just help me get the lodge back. Why are you being so cruel? I stared at that word. 8 years of broken promises. 8 years of canceled plans. 8 years of being treated like an afterthought. I typed, I'm being free. I blocked his number. Then I blocked Jessica's number. Then I turned off my phone again. That night, I had dinner at a small restaurant on the beach. Grilled fish, plantains, a glass of wine. I sat alone, watched the sunset, listened to the waves. A couple at the next table, older, maybe 75, were holding hands, laughing. They'd been married 50 years, I heard the woman say. I thought about Tom. If he were here, he'd be proud. He'd say, took you long enough. The next morning, I got an email from Donna Chen. Carol, I reviewed the legal notice from Ryan's attorney. It's baseless. Verbal promises about inheritance aren't enforceable in California unless documented in writing. You didn't breach anything. I'll draft a response. Don't worry, they're bluffing. I wrote back, thank you. Also, I need to update my will. Can we do that remotely? She responded within an hour. Absolutely. I'll send you a questionnaire. I filled it out that afternoon. New will. Ryan gets $10,000. The rest, house, investments, pension, split between 3 charities, the Tahoe Wildlife Foundation, the Alzheimer's Association, for Tom, and a scholarship fund for single mothers. I signed it, sent it back. Donna confirmed. Executed. You're all set. On Christmas Day, I went snorkeling. Saw sea turtles, colorful fish, coral reefs. I thought about Emma and Liam, wondered what they were doing. If they were opening presents. If they were happy. I wondered if they asked about me. I'd been a stranger to them for years. That night, I unblocked Ryan's number, just to see if he'd texted. December 25th, 10:03 a.m. The kids are asking about you. What should I tell them? I stared at the message. What should he tell them? That Grandma got tired of being forgotten. But he wouldn't say that. He'd say I was sick, or mean, or crazy. He'd make me the villain. Maybe walking away made me cruel, but staying would have killed me. Slowly, quietly, one canceled Christmas at a time, I blocked him again, and I decided I wasn't going back to Reno. I extended my hotel stay. 1 more week, then another. I'd figure out the rest later. For now, I was exactly where I needed to be, 3,000 miles away. The call came on January 3rd. I was still in Barbados. I'd rented a small apartment near the beach, month to month, furnished. It cost less than my mortgage in Reno. I'd been thinking about selling the Reno house, too. My phone rang at 2:00 p.m. Unknown number, California area code. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Winters, this is Detective Sarah Palmer with the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office. I'm calling about your grandchildren, Emma and Liam Winters. What happened? Are they okay? They're safe, but they're currently in protective custody. Child Protective Services removed them from their parents' home this morning. Why? What did Ryan do? I can't give you all the details over the phone, but there was an incident. A neighbor called 911. When officers arrived, the children were home alone. Your son and daughter-in-law weren't there. Emma told us they'd been gone since the night before. We're still trying to locate them. But Ms. Winters, I'm calling because Emma gave us your name. She said you're her grandmother. Is that correct? CPS is looking for emergency placement for the children. Family is always the first option. Are you available to take them? I looked around the apartment. 1 bedroom, a futon in the living room. No toys. No kid stuff. Oh. Detective Palmer sounded surprised. Can you return to California? The children need placement within 72 hours, or they'll be placed in foster care. Emma was 7. Liam was 5. But they were my grandchildren. I can be there tomorrow, I said. Good. I'll connect you with CPS. They'll explain the process. She transferred me. A woman named Karen Liu picked up. Social worker. Efficient. Professional. Winters, thank you for stepping up. Emergency kinship placements move quickly, but we need to run a background check and do a home inspection. Where do you live? Reno, but I haven't been there in 3 weeks. That's fine. We'll inspect the home tomorrow. Can you be there? And you'll need to complete some paperwork. Fingerprinting, a TB test. It's standard procedure. One more thing. Do you have a relationship with Emma and Liam? I'm their grandmother, but I haven't seen them in a while. 5 years, for Liam. Emma I saw 4 years ago. That's concerning. The children will need stability. Familiar faces. Do they know you? They've seen me on FaceTime, and I send birthday cards. Winters, I'm going to be honest. The court prefers placements where the children have an established bond. If you've been out of their lives for 5 years, that's going to be a factor. I tried. Ryan kept canceling visits. I understand. But from the children's perspective, you're a stranger. That can be traumatic, especially after what they've been through. What did they go through? Karen sighed. I can't share details. But Emma and Liam are scared, confused. They need someone who can provide immediate comfort. Can you do that? Okay, I'll email you the paperwork. Get back to California as soon as you can. Booked a flight. Barbados to Miami, Miami to Reno, leaving tonight at 11 p.m. Then I called Donna Chen. She answered immediately. Carol, I was just about to call you. Did you hear about Ryan? CPS called. What happened? He was arrested last night. Jessica was with him. They left the kids home alone. Emma called a neighbor when Liam started crying and she couldn't calm him down. Where are they now? Ryan posted bail this morning. Jessica's still in custody. She had unpaid warrants. Something about fraud from years ago. I thought about the text messages, the legal threat, the desperation. Donna, I need your help. CPS wants to place the kids with me. I need to pass a home inspection. Can you meet me in Reno tomorrow? Of course. What time? Morning, 9 a.m. I'll text you when I land. Then I sat on the balcony, watched the ocean. 2 weeks ago, I'd walked away from Ryan, from the grandkids, from all of it. Now I was flying back, because they didn't deserve this. I arrived in Reno at 6 a.m. on January 4th. The house was cold, dusty, mail piled up by the door. I turned on the heat, made coffee, started cleaning. At 9 a.m., Donna arrived. She looked around. It's a nice house, but it's not kid-friendly. Do you have beds for them? Toys? Kid stuff? I'll buy it today. You need it before the inspection. CPS is coming at 2 p.m. I grabbed my keys. Let's go. We spent 4 hours at Target. 2 twin beds, sheets, blankets, pillows, a desk, bookshelves, toys, coloring books, clothes in sizes I guessed. We loaded everything into Donna's SUV, brought it back to the house. By 1:30 p.m., I'd set up a bedroom for Emma, another for Liam. They looked generic, impersonal, but they were ready. At 2 p.m., Karen Liu arrived. She walked through the house, checked the smoke detectors, looked at the bedrooms, asked about my work schedule. I'm retired, I said. Good. The children need full-time supervision, especially Emma. She's been acting as a parent to Liam. That's a lot of responsibility for a 7-year-old. What about school? They're enrolled in Sacramento. You'll need to transfer them here, or drive them back and forth until Ryan's situation is resolved. How long will that take? Depends on the case. Could be weeks, could be months. Ryan has a court date in February. If he's convicted, the children could be with you long-term. Then custody reverts to him, unless CPS determines the home is still unsafe. She handed me a stack of forms. Sign these. You're officially their emergency kinship foster parent. You'll get a small stipend. $800 a month for both kids. It's not much, but it helps. Karen looked at me. Winters, I have to ask. Are you ready for this? Raising 2 young kids is hard, especially when you're starting from scratch. His father left when Ryan was 3. I did it by myself. And how did that turn out? Ryan made his own choices, I said. I did the best I could. I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying, these kids have been through trauma. They need more than a roof over their heads. They need therapy, structure, patience. I'm here, aren't I? Karen nodded. You are. That's more than a lot of grandparents would do. She left at 3 p.m. At 4 p.m., a CPS van pulled up. Karen got out, opened the back door. Emma stepped out first. Small, thin, brown hair and a messy ponytail. She was wearing jeans and a pink sweatshirt. She looked terrified. Liam climbed out next. Smaller, blonde hair like Jessica. He was holding a stuffed dinosaur, crying. Karen walked them to the porch. Emma looked at me. No recognition, just fear. Hi, Emma. Hi, Liam. I'm Grandma Carol. Do you remember me? Emma shook her head. Liam hid behind Karen. Karen knelt down. Emma, Liam, this is your grandma. She's going to take care of you for a while. You're safe here, okay? Emma didn't respond. Karen looked at me. It's going to take time. Be patient. She handed me a bag. Their clothes, a few toys, Emma's schoolwork. Then she got back in the van, drove away. I stood on the porch with 2 terrified children. Let's go inside, I said. It's cold. I want Mom, Liam said. His voice was small, broken. I know, sweetheart, but she's not here right now, so you're staying with me. He's dealing with some things, but you're safe, I promise. Emma finally spoke. Are you really our grandma? I don't remember you. That's okay. We'll get to know each other. She looked at Liam. Come on, Lee, it's cold. She took his hand, led him inside. They stood in the living room, looking around, lost. Are you hungry? I asked. I made grilled cheese sandwiches, found apple slices in the fridge, poured milk. They ate in silence. After dinner, I showed them their rooms. Emma walked into hers, looked at the bed, the toys, the books. Yes, just for you. I've never had my own room. Liam and I shared. At home. Well, now you have your own. You can decorate it however you want. She sat on the bed, didn't say anything. I showed Liam his room. He clutched his dinosaur, looked around. Do you like it? I asked. At 8 p.m., I got them ready for bed, found pajamas in the bag Karen had left, helped Liam brush his teeth. Emma did hers alone. I tucked Liam into bed. I want Mom, he said again. I know, but she'll be back soon. For now, you're with me. I don't like it here. That's okay. You don't have to like it yet. I turned off the light, left the door cracked. Emma was sitting on her bed when I went to check on her. Do you need anything? I asked. Because your mom and dad, they're having some problems, and you need somewhere safe to stay. Dad said you were mean, that you hated us. I felt like I'd been punched. That's not true. I don't hate you. Then why didn't you ever visit? I wanted to, but your dad kept saying you were busy. We weren't busy, we were home. I sat on the edge of the bed. Emma, your dad and I, we had some problems, but none of that is your fault, okay? She looked at me. Are we going to be here forever? I don't know. Maybe just a little while. Maybe longer. I don't want to be here. She lay down, turned away from me, stood in the hallway, listened to Liam crying in his room. I didn't know what to do, so I sat in the living room, stared at nothing. At midnight, I checked my phone. 23 missed calls. All from Ryan. Mom, please. I know we haven't talked, but I need the kids back. They need to be with me. Call me. The kids are safe. That's all you need to know, he responded immediately. Let me talk to them. Then you shouldn't have left them alone. That was one mistake. I was gone for 6 hours. Emma is 7. She's responsible. I stared at that message. Emma is responsible, because Ryan had trained her to be. I typed, you don't get to talk to them until CPS says you can. Stay away. I blocked him again, and I sat in the dark, listening to my grandchildren cry in rooms down the hall, wondering if I'd just made the biggest mistake of my life. The first week was hell. Liam cried every night. Emma wouldn't talk to me. They moved through the house like ghosts, silent, angry, lost. I enrolled them in school. Horace Mann Elementary, 3 blocks from my house. Emma's teacher, Ms. Rodriguez, pulled me aside on day 2. Emma's very withdrawn. She won't participate, won't make eye contact. Is everything okay at home? I explained the situation, the placement, the trauma. Rodriguez nodded. That makes sense. I'll keep an eye on her, but she might need counseling. I'm working on it. I'd already called 3 therapists. All had waiting lists. The soonest appointment was in March. Liam's teacher sent a note home on day 3. Liam had an accident today. He wet his pants during circle time. This is the 2nd time this week. Please send extra clothes. I bought pull-ups. Liam refused to wear them. I'm not a baby, he said. I know, but just in case. He had another accident on Friday. I picked him up early. He was wearing lost and found sweatpants. His own pants were in a plastic bag. He cried the whole way home. At night, I tried to establish routines. Dinner at 6 bao, bath at 7 hours, bed at 8 rao. Emma followed the routine without complaint, but she didn't talk. Just moved mechanically. Bathed. Went to bed. Liam fought everything. I don't like this food. I don't want a bath. By the end of week 1, I was exhausted. On January 10th, I got a call from Donna Chen. Carol, we have a problem. Ryan filed for emergency custody. He's claiming you're an unfit guardian. That you kidnapped the kids? What? CPS placed them with me. I know, but Ryan's claiming you coerced them, that you manipulated the system to get revenge for the lodge. I agree. But he has a lawyer, a good one. Jessica's father is funding it. I'd only met him once, at Emma's birth. He was cold, dismissive. Jessica had said he was protective. Now he was bankrolling a custody fight. What do? I asked. We fight back. But Carol, you need to be prepared. This is going to get ugly. Ryan's going to drag up everything. Your age, your relationship with the kids, the fact that you sold the lodge and left the country. I came back for them. I know, but it won't look good. You were in Barbados when CPS called. Ryan's going to argue you're unreliable. And what about him? He left 2 kids alone for 12 hours. He's arguing it was a one-time mistake, that Jessica was supposed to be home but got arrested, that he's a good father who made a bad decision. Probably, but we need to prove it. Do you have anything? Texts? Emails? Evidence of neglect or abuse? Emma said I never visited, that Ryan told her I was mean, that I hated them. That's parental alienation. We can use that. Anything else? Ryan used my credit cards without permission. For years, he canceled Christmas. 8 times. He never brought the kids to see me. Carol, that's not neglect. That's just family dysfunction. We need something concrete. Medical records, police reports, witness statements. I don't have any of that. Then we need to build a case. Fast. The hearing is in 3 weeks. January 30th. I hung up. Felt sick. 3 weeks to prove I was a better option than Ryan. 3 weeks to save Emma and Liam from going back to a man who'd abandoned them. That night, I asked Emma to help me with dinner. She stood next to me at the counter, silent. I handed her a vegetable peeler. "Can you peel these carrots?" She took it, started peeling. "Emma," I said, "can I ask you something? What was it like at home, before you came here? Did your mom and dad take care of you? Did they leave you alone a lot?" She stopped peeling. "Sometimes. Once a week? More? Emma, I'm not trying to get you in trouble. I just want to understand. Dad said not to talk about it. He said people wouldn't understand." I set down my knife. "What did he say people wouldn't understand?" "That mom and dad need time alone sometimes. That I'm old enough to watch Liam for a few hours." "A few hours? How long were they usually gone?" "I don't know. They'd leave after we went to bed. Come back in the morning." "How many times did that happen? More than 10 times? Emma, did you ever tell anyone? A teacher? A friend?" "Dad said if I told, they'd take us away, and we'd be put with strangers. He said strangers are mean. Instead, I said, 'You're safe now, okay? No one's going to hurt you.'" She looked at me. "Are you a stranger?" "Technically, yes, but I'm your grandma. I'm family. Dad said you didn't want us." "That's not true. I wanted to see you so badly. But your dad kept saying you were busy." She went back to peeling carrots. "I called Donna that night. Emma just told me Ryan and Jessica left them alone overnight. Multiple times. That's huge." "Will she say that in court?" "I don't know. She's scared. We need a child psychologist, someone who can interview her. Get her to talk." "I'm trying. The waiting lists are insane. I'll make some calls. I know someone who specializes in custody cases. She might be able to squeeze you in." 2 days later, I got a call from Dr. Lisa Park, child psychologist. "Winters Donna Chen asked me to evaluate Emma and Liam. I have an opening tomorrow at 4 p.m. Can you bring them?" The next day, I picked up the kids from school early. Drove to Dr. Park's office in downtown Reno. The waiting room had toys, books, a fish tank. Liam immediately ran to the toys. Emma sat next to me, stiff. Park came out, mid-40s. Warm smile, calm energy. "Hi, Emma. Hi, Liam. I'm Dr. Park. I'm a feelings doctor. I help kids talk about things that are bothering them." Liam ignored her. Emma stared at the floor. Park looked at me. "I'll see them separately. Emma first. This'll take about an hour." Emma stood, followed Dr. Park into the office. I sat with Liam. He built a tower with blocks, knocked it down, built it again. "Lee," I said, "do you like staying with me? I want to go home." "I know, but you can't right now. Because your mom and dad have some things they need to fix." He knocked down his tower. "I hate it here." "What do you hate about it?" An hour later, Emma came out. Her eyes were red. Park nodded at me. "Liam, it's your turn." I sat with Emma. "Are you okay? What did you talk about?" "I don't want to talk about it." After Liam's session, Dr. Park asked to speak with me privately. We sat in her office. She closed the door. "Winters, I'll be writing a full report for the court. But I want to give you a heads up. Emma is displaying signs of parentification. She's been acting as a caregiver for Liam. That's a lot of responsibility for a 7-year-old. What does that mean for the case?" "It means Emma has experienced emotional neglect. Not abuse, but neglect. She's had to grow up too fast. Liam, on the other hand, is showing signs of anxiety and regression. The bedwetting, the emotional outbursts. Those are trauma responses. Will they recover? With therapy, yes, but it takes time and stability. They need to know they're safe, that they won't be moved again. What if Ryan gets custody back? I can only report what I observe. I can't tell the court what to do. But if you're asking my professional opinion, these children need consistent, reliable care. They need someone who puts them first. Based on what Emma told me, no. He's put his own needs above theirs. Repeatedly. I felt a weight lift. Will you say that in your report? On January 28th, 2 days before the hearing, I got an email from Donna. "Carol, I have news. Jessica took a plea deal. She's pleading guilty to child endangerment and fraud. She'll serve 90 days. In exchange, she's agreed to testify against Ryan." "Testify about what?" "About his gambling. Turns out Ryan has $380,000 in debt, casino loans, illegal bookies. Jessica was trying to help him pay it off. That's why she got arrested. She was running credit card scams. Just like his father. Ryan's dad, my ex-husband, had been a gambler. Lost everything. Left when Ryan was 3. I thought Ryan was different, but addiction runs in families. What does this mean for the hearing? I asked. It means we have leverage. Ryan's unstable. He's in debt. He's desperate. The court won't give him custody. So the kids stay with me? Most likely. Unless Ryan can prove you're unfit, which he can't. Donna, what happens if I win? Do I keep them forever? That depends. If Ryan goes to prison, you'll be their legal guardian until he's released. If he doesn't, CPS will monitor him. If he completes parenting classes and stays clean, he could get them back eventually. 6 months, a year, maybe longer. I thought about Emma, about Liam. They were starting to adjust. Liam's accidents were less frequent. Emma had smiled once, just once, when I made her favorite dinner. I didn't want to lose them. What if I want permanent custody? I asked. Then you'd have to prove Ryan is permanently unfit. That's a higher bar. You'd need to show he can't change, that he's a danger to them. I don't know. But if you want to fight for permanent custody, we can. It'll be harder, but we can try. I looked at the photo on my desk. Emma and Liam. Taken last week. They were building a snowman in the yard. Emma was smiling. It was the first time I'd heard him laugh. Let's do it, I said. Are you sure? This will destroy your relationship with Ryan permanently. We don't have a relationship. We haven't for years. Then, okay, I'll file the paperwork. We go to court in 2 days. And I sat in the dark, wondering if I was saving my grandchildren. The courtroom was smaller than I expected. Washoe County Family Court, Reno, January 30th. I sat at a table with Donna. Ryan sat across the aisle with his lawyer, a man in an expensive suit, gray hair, confident. Charles Drake sat behind Ryan, watching. Jessica wasn't there, still in custody. The judge entered. Judge Patricia Calderon, late 50s, no-nonsense expression. This is a hearing for emergency custody modification. Case number FC 2025 SAU 0847, Ryan Winters versus Carol Winters. Counsel, are you ready to proceed? Donna stood. Yes, Your Honor. Ryan's lawyer stood. Ready, Your Honor. Brennan, you may begin. Ryan's lawyer, Brennan, walked to the front. Your Honor, my client Ryan Winters is a devoted father who made one mistake. On January 2nd, he and his wife left their children with what they believed was adequate supervision. A neighbor was supposed to check in. That neighbor failed to do so. When law enforcement arrived, they overreacted. They removed the children and placed them with Ms. Carol Winters, a woman who has been absent from these children's lives for years. Winters sold the family ski lodge, a property my client was promised, and fled to Barbados without notice. She's unreliable, she's vindictive, and she's using these children as pawns in a family dispute. Judge Calderon looked at me. Winters, is it true you sold property and left the country in December? I stood. Yes, Your Honor, but I returned immediately when CPS called. I've cared for Emma and Liam for almost a month now, and prior to January, when was the last time you saw your grandchildren? I swallowed. 4 years ago. For Emma. 5 years ago for Liam. The judge made a note. Why so long? My son canceled visits. Repeatedly. Brennan interrupted. Because Ms. Winters was difficult. She demanded unreasonable accommodations. She refused to respect my client's schedule. That's not true, I said. Judge Calderon held up a hand. Jen, you'll have your turn. Brennan, continue. Brennan presented evidence. Text messages where I'd asked Ryan to visit. His responses, too busy, not a good time. He framed it as me being pushy, demanding. Then he called Ryan to the stand. Ryan stood, walked to the witness box, raised his right hand, swore to tell the truth. He looked tired, thinner. His suit didn't fit right. Brennan asked questions. Winters, tell the court about your relationship with your mother. Ryan looked at me. It's complicated. My mom and we've had issues. She was controlling when I was growing up. She didn't approve of Jessica. She made holidays difficult. Brennan continued. Did you ever prevent her from seeing Emma and Liam? She was always welcome. But she'd make demands, specific dates, long visits. It was hard to accommodate. And the ski lodge, did she promise it to you? Yes, multiple times. She said when she died it would be mine. Then she sold it, without telling me. She was angry I canceled Christmas. So she took it out on me. How did that make you feel? Betrayed, hurt, like I didn't matter. Brennan nodded. And now she's using the same tactic with your children, taking them away to punish you. Objection, Donna said. Speculation. Sustained, the judge said. Brennan, stick to facts. Brennan stepped back. No further questions. Donna stood. I have a few questions, Your Honor. She walked toward Ryan. Winters, you said your mother was controlling. Can you give an example? Ryan hesitated. She wanted us to visit every holiday. It was a lot of pressure. Every holiday? Or just Christmas and Thanksgiving? And you're saying that's unreasonable? For a grandmother to want to see her grandchildren twice a year? It's not just that. She'd guilt trip me, make me feel bad. She'd say things like, I never see you, or the kids are growing up without me. And those things were true, weren't they? Donna continued. Winters, how many times have Emma and Liam seen their grandmother in the last 5 years? I don't know. A few. A few? Can you be specific? Maybe 3 or 4 times. 3 or 4 times in 5 years. That's less than once a year. Too busy to drive 90 miles? Too busy for a FaceTime call? Donna pulled out a document. I have phone records. You called your mother 6 times in 2024. 3 of those calls were about money. 1 was about the lodge. 2 were on holidays. The average call length was 4 minutes. Does that sound right? Ryan's jaw tightened. If you say so. Winters, let's talk about January 2nd. You and your wife left Emma and Liam home alone, correct? We had an emergency. What kind of emergency? Jessica's mother was sick. And where were you? We went to Sacramento to check on her. How long were you gone? A few hours? Or 12 hours? Ryan looked down. It was longer than we planned. 12 hours, Mr. Winters. Emma told investigators you left at 8:00 p.m. on January 1st and didn't return until 8:00 a.m. on January 2nd. Is that accurate? And you left a 7-year-old in charge of a 5-year-old, overnight. Emma's mature for her age. She's 7 years old. She can handle it. Donna paused. Winters, this wasn't the first time, was it? Ryan looked at his lawyer. Brennan stood. Objection. Relevance. Your Honor, this goes to a pattern of neglect, Donna said. Judge Calderon nodded. Overruled. Answer the question, Mr. Winters. Ryan shifted in his seat. I don't know what you're talking about. Emma told Dr. Lisa Park, a court-appointed psychologist, that you and Jessica left her and Liam alone overnight multiple times. Is that true? She's confused. She's a kid. Or you're lying, Mr. Winters. Objection. Brennan stood. Counsel is badgering the witness. Sustained. Move on, Ms. Chen. Donna nodded. Winters, how much debt do you currently have? Ryan went pale. I don't see how that's relevant. Answer the question. I have some debt. Everyone does. I don't know exactly. Donna pulled out another document. According to financial records, you owe $380,000. Most of it to casinos and illegal bookies. Is that correct? And your wife, Jessica, was arrested for credit card fraud. She was trying to help you pay off these debts, wasn't she? You don't know? Or you don't want to admit it? Brennan stood. Objection. Argumentative. Donna stepped closer. Winters, when your mother sold the lodge, you were counting on that money, weren't you? You needed it to pay your debts. That's why you're fighting for custody. Not because you love your children, but because you're trying to punish your mother. Then why did you tell Emma that her grandmother hated her? Why did you tell your children that their grandmother didn't want to see them? When the truth is, you kept them away? You lied to them. You lied to this court. And you've been using your children as leverage to get what you want. Objection. Brennan was on his feet. Your Honor, this is out of line. Judge Calderon nodded. Chen, tone it down. Donna stepped back. No further questions. Ryan stumbled back to his seat. He looked destroyed. Next, Donna called Dr. A. Lisa Park. Park testified about her evaluation, about Emma's parentification, about Liam's trauma. In my professional opinion, these children have been emotionally neglected. They need stable, consistent care. Winters has provided that. Winters has not. Brennan cross-examined. Park, isn't it true that removing children from their parents is traumatic? And wouldn't it be less traumatic to return them to their father? Not if their father is unsafe. You're saying Mr. Winters is unsafe. I'm saying he's demonstrated a pattern of prioritizing his own needs over his children's. That's a red flag. Finally, Donna called me. I walked to the stand, raised my hand, swore to tell the truth. Donna asked about the lodge, about Ryan's canceled visits, about my decision to return from Barbados. Winters, why did you come back? Because Emma and Liam needed me. I didn't want them in foster care, even though you barely knew them. They're my grandchildren. I love them, even if I haven't been able to show it. And you're willing to raise them? Long term? I looked at Ryan. He was staring at the table. Even if it means losing your relationship with your son? I thought about Emma's smile, about Liam's laugh. Brennan stood. Winters, you're 62 years old, correct? Isn't it true that raising young children at your age will be difficult? Maybe, but I'm capable. You sold a multi-million-dollar property and left the country. That doesn't sound stable. I came back when it mattered, but you left in the first place. What's to stop you from leaving again? How can this court trust that? I looked at Judge Calderon. Because I've spent the last month proving it. I enrolled them in school. I got them therapy. I'm here. Ryan wasn't. Judge Calderon looked at both of us. I've heard enough. I'll take this under advisement. I'll issue a ruling within 48 hours. Court is adjourned. I sat there, shaking. Donna put her hand on my shoulder. You did great. Ryan walked past without looking at me. Charles Drake followed. He stopped, looked at me. You're going to regret this, he said quietly. 2 days later, I got the ruling. Judge Calderon granted me temporary custody, 6 months, renewable based on Ryan's progress. Ryan was ordered to complete parenting classes, anger management, financial counseling. He was allowed supervised visits, 2 hours a week. If he complied, he could petition for custody again in 6 months. If he didn't, I could file for permanent guardianship. I called Donna. What does this mean? It means you won, for now. And if Ryan doesn't comply, then the kids are yours, permanently. Told Emma and Liam that night. You're staying with me for a while longer. Emma nodded. Didn't say anything. Liam asked, can we see Dad? Yes. Once a week, with a supervisor. I want to see him now. I know, but we have to follow the rules. Emma put her arm around him. It's okay, Lee. Grandma's nice. It was the first time she'd called me Grandma. I started crying too. 3 weeks later, Ryan had his first supervised visit. I dropped the kids off at CPS. A social worker supervised. Ryan was already there. He looked thinner, tired. Emma ran to him, hugged him. Ryan held them, crying. He looked at me. Thank you. Can we talk? He asked. Picked them up 2 hours later. Emma was quiet in the car. How was it? I asked. Good. Dad said he's sorry. He said he's getting help. He said he misses us. Do you think we'll go back to him? Emma looked out the window. I don't want to. I glanced at her. Why not? Because I like it here, with you. I pulled into the driveway, turned off the car. Emma, you can love your dad and still be safe with me, okay? That night, I tucked her into bed. She looked up at me. Grandma, thank you for coming back. I kissed her forehead. Always. 2 years later, I stood in the kitchen watching Emma help Liam with his homework. She was 9 now. He was 7. Legally, permanently. Ryan had tried. For 6 months, he attended parenting classes, did the counseling, showed up for supervised visits, but then he relapsed. August 2025, he missed a visit, then another, then he stopped showing up altogether. In October, CPS found him in Las Vegas, drunk, at a casino. He'd gambled away 3 months of rent money. Donna filed for permanent guardianship in November. Ryan didn't contest it. The judge granted it in December, 2 days before Christmas. Ryan signed away his parental rights. Jessica was out of jail by then. She'd moved to Oregon, started over. She didn't fight for custody either. Charles Drake called me once, said I'd destroyed his daughter's life. Now it was February 2027. Emma was doing well in school, honor roll, she'd made friends, joined soccer. Liam still had struggles, anxiety, nightmares. But therapy was helping. They both called me Grandma now, sometimes just Carol. I was okay with both. I sold the Reno house last year. Too many memories. Too big. We moved to a smaller place closer to their school. 3 bedrooms, a yard, a dog. Liam had named the dog Rex, a golden retriever, goofy and sweet. I'd gone back to work part-time, consulting for a veterinary nonprofit, remote, flexible hours. The money from the lodge sale was mostly gone. I'd used it for legal fees, living expenses, setting up a college fund for the kids. I had enough left to live modestly, comfortably. I didn't need more than that. On February 14th, Valentine's Day, I got a letter. It was addressed to me. Return address, Sacramento County Jail. I almost threw it away. The handwriting was messy, shaky. I know you don't want to hear from me. I don't blame you. I ruined everything. The lodge, the kids. I'm writing because I'm getting sober. For real this time. I've been in jail for 3 months, probation violation. I'll be out in May. When I get out, I'm going to rehab. 6 months. In Arizona. I'm not asking for anything. I just wanted you to know. I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't expect to see Emma and Liam. I know I don't deserve that. But I want them to know I love them. Even if I was a shitty dad. Even if I lost them. Tell them I'm sorry. Tell them I'm trying. Then I put it in a drawer. That night, I asked Emma and Liam if they wanted to talk about their dad. We were eating dinner. Spaghetti. Emma's favorite. Do you ever think about him? I asked. Emma shrugged. Sometimes. I don't know. I remember him. But it feels like a long time ago. Do you want to see him? She looked at Liam. He was focused on his plate. Maybe someday, Emma said. Not now. That's okay. You don't have to. Is he okay? She asked. I think he's trying to be. We finished dinner, cleared the plates, played a board game. At bedtime, Emma asked, Grandma, can I ask you something? For the years of neglect, the lies, the manipulation, for making me feel like I didn't matter. I'm angry, I said, but I don't hate him. He's still my son. Do you think he'll get better? I don't know. I hope so. If he does, would you let him see us? That's up to you and Liam, not me. She nodded. I don't think I want to. Not yet. Then you don't have to. But maybe when I'm older. She hugged me. I'm glad we're here. With you. 3 months later, I got another letter. Ryan was out of jail, in rehab in Arizona. He sent a photo. He looked healthier, clearer eyes. Mom, I'm 90 days sober. Longest I've been clean in years. They're teaching me about accountability, about making amends. I know I can't fix what I broke, but I'm trying to be better. I don't expect you to respond. I just wanted you to know. I showed the letter to Emma. She read it, handed it back. What do you think? I asked. I think he's trying. Do you want to write back? But you can if you want. By July, Ryan was 6 months sober. He sent another letter. This one was different. Mom, I'm out of rehab. I'm living in Tucson. I got a job, construction. It's honest work. I'm still going to meetings. I'm still trying. I'm not asking to see the kids, but I'd like to see you. Just once. Just to say I'm sorry in person. If you're willing, let me know. If not, I understand. I put the letter down. Looked at the calendar. August 10th. 2 years and 7 months since I'd sold the lodge. 2 years and 6 months since I'd taken custody of Emma and Liam. Ryan wants to meet. Should I? Will it affect custody? You have permanent guardianship. He signed away his rights. He can't take them back. Yes, but Carol, do you want to see him? Part of me was still angry. Part of me wanted to hear him apologize. Part of me wanted to believe he'd changed. I'll think about it, I said. I thought about it for 2 weeks. Ryan, I'll meet you. Once. Neutral location. I'll let you know when and where. 2 weeks later, I flew to Tucson. Emma and Liam stayed with Donna. I told them I was visiting a friend. I didn't mention Ryan. We met at a coffee shop, Midtown Tucson. Small, quiet. Ryan was already there when I arrived. He stood when he saw me. Taller than I remembered. Thinner. Grayer. He ordered coffee. I ordered tea. We didn't talk for a long moment. Then Ryan said, "Thank you for coming." "I know, I wouldn't have either. Why did you want to see me?" He looked down. "To say I'm sorry, for everything. The lodge, the kids, the way I treated you. Yes, I was an asshole, a selfish, entitled asshole, and I hurt you, and I hurt Emma and Liam, and I can't take that back. I don't expect you to forgive me. I just wanted you to know I see it now, what I did, how bad it was." I sipped my tea. What changed? Rehab, therapy, sobriety. I had to look at myself, really look, and I didn't like what I saw. I'm trying to be better, to be the person you raised me to be. I raised you to be kind, to be responsible, to show up. And you were none of those things. He nodded. "You're right." I set down my tea. "Ryan, I need to know. Why did you push me away? Why did you keep the kids from me?" He was quiet for a long time. Then, "Because you reminded me of my failures. Every time I saw you, I felt guilty. For not visiting, for not calling, for not being the son you deserved. It was easier to avoid you than to face that. So you lied to the kids, told them I didn't want to see them. Do you know how much that hurt them?" I looked at him. Really looked. I could see it in his eyes. "Ryan, I can't let you back into their lives. Not yet. Maybe not ever. They're happy. They're stable. I won't risk that. But I'll tell them you're trying, and when they're older, if they want to reach out, I won't stop them. And if you stay sober, if you really change, maybe someday we can talk again. Not now. But someday." We finished our coffee. Stood. Ryan hesitated. "Can I hug you?" He hugged me. Tight. When we pulled apart, he was crying. "I love you too, Ryan. But love isn't enough. You have to show up. You have to do the work." Told Emma and Liam I'd gone to Tucson for business. They didn't ask questions, and I didn't tell them. 1 year later, August 2028, I got a letter from Ryan. He'd been sober for 2 years. He'd gotten a promotion. He was volunteering at a recovery center. "Mom, I don't expect anything, but I wanted you to know I'm still here, still sober, still trying. If Emma and Liam ever want to meet me, I'm ready. No pressure, just whenever they're ready." I showed the letter to Emma. She was 10 now, almost 11. She read it. "Do you think he's really different?" "I don't know, but I think he's trying. Do you want me to meet him?" She thought about it. "Not yet, but maybe when I'm older." "Does he ask about us?" "What do you tell him? That you're happy? That you're doing well? That you're loved?" 6 months later, Emma changed her mind. She was in 6th grade. Liam was in 3rd. We were eating breakfast. Pancakes. Emma said, "I think I want to meet Dad." I set down my fork. "Why now?" "I don't know. I've been thinking about him. About what he was like. I don't really remember." "You were 7 when you left." "I know, but I want to know if he's different. If he's better, then at least I'll know." I called Donna, explained the situation. "Set up a meeting, supervised, short, see how it goes." We arranged it for March, a park in Reno, neutral, public. I drove Emma. Liam chose not to come. Ryan was already there, sitting on a bench. He stood when he saw us. Emma stopped, stared. "Is that him?" she asked. "He looks different." "It's been 3 years." She walked toward him. Slowly. They talked for 30 minutes. I couldn't hear them, but I watched. Ryan cried. Emma didn't. When it was over, Emma came back. "How was it?" I asked. "Good weird or bad weird?" That night, Emma said, "I think I want to see him again." "Okay, we'll set it up. But I don't want to live with him." "You don't have to. You're staying with me." Over the next year, Emma saw Ryan once a month. Sometimes Liam came, sometimes he didn't. Ryan never asked for more, never pushed. He just showed up, consistent, sober, trying. And slowly, carefully, they started to rebuild. In December 2029, 5 years after I sold the lodge, I got a call from Ryan. "Mom, I wanted to tell you something. I met someone. Her name is Angela. She's in recovery too. We've been dating for 6 months." "That's good, Ryan." "She wants to meet Emma and Liam, if that's okay." He was quiet. "Thank you, Mom. That means a lot." I sat on the porch, watched the sunset. Rex was lying at my feet. Emma was inside doing homework. Liam was playing video games. I thought about the ski lodge, about the text that changed everything, about selling the property, flying to Barbados, watching the sunset alone. I'd lost my son for a while, but I'd found my grandchildren. And slowly, carefully, I was finding my son again. Not the way it was before. It would never be that way again. But maybe it could be something new. Something built on truth instead of obligation. I pulled out my phone, looked at the last photo I'd taken. Emma and Liam at the park, smiling, happy, safe, because I'd made the right choice. 5 years ago, I'd chosen myself. And in doing so, I'd saved them. The key that didn't work had unlocked everything.